Hello students, welcome back class 11. Today I am discussing a new topic, list indexing and slicing. List indexing and slicing, this concept is same as string indexing and slicing, same thing. Okay, so here we can say this just like a revision, because the string slice operation and list slice and indexing operation exactly same. Okay, but today I am discussing list indexing and slicing. So list indexing and slicing is similar to string indexing and slicing. Okay, we must use this operator, square bracket we can use. It is a subscript operator to access single or multiple index values. Here I am giving one example. You can see here I am using x. X is our variable. This is a list variable. Okay, because simple variable always use single value. Okay, but this variable is very special variable. Special means it holds multiple values, more than one value it is holding. Okay, so but we know very well the memory condition of this variable. You can see inside the memory, x is our list variable. These are our value 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. But in memory it is a indexing. Okay, so we can say two type of indexing. Forward indexing means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. In 0 position value is 11, in 1 position value is 12, in 2 position value is 13, in 3 position value is 14, in 4 position value is 15, in 5th position value is 16. So we can access this value with the help of index position. But Python provided good facility. We can also use backward index position. Okay, so we have two options. We can use forward index and we can use backward index. In backward index, so -6 always you can see -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. So you can see in right to left you can imagine the backward indexing. In last value is -1 always, then -2 position, then -3, -4, -5 and -6. So you can see in -6 position the value is 11, in -5 position value is 12, in -4 position value is 13, in -3 position value is 14, in -2 position value is 15 and -1 position you have 16. So we have two options. We can use 0 position to get 11. We can also use -6 backward indexation to get 11. So we have two ways to access the same value. Okay, so this thing you keep in mind. Yellow thing it is actual position in our memory. Okay, so here I am same thing in practically we can use in our coding. We can use this statement to access each and every value. So first I am giving single item access using indexing. Here I am giving indexing. So what is the syntax? Simple list variable. We must use square bracket and we can provide the index position value. Okay students, so here I am access each and every value. So in string we already discussed, so same thing, but here in list concept. So you can see in forward index you can see x of 0 11. Okay, you can see x of 0 11, x of 1 it will give 12, x of 2 it will give 13, x of 3 it will give 14, x of 4 it will give 15, x of 5 it will give 16. So always forward index start with 0. Okay, or one thing also keep in mind, in range function always by default start with 0. Okay, so this is the common thing. Now same 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 access with the help of backward index. We can also use x in square bracket -6, so it will give 11. Either we can use forward index, either we can use backward index. We can use x in square bracket -5, so it will give 12. Okay, in x minus 4 it will give 13. You can see in our example, in x minus 3 it will give 14. Okay, in x minus 2 it will give 15, in x minus 1 it will give 16. So you can see this thing. So in programming practical, in coding, we can use this type of statement to access each and particular value. Okay, we always use index and then we will get the actual our value. Okay students, but suppose I want to access more than one value. Okay, so when you access only single value in a list, so we can say indexing. But when you want to access multiple values, so we can say slicing, slice. Okay, slicing. So what is the syntax? Here I am using list variable. Okay, same thing, but here we can use from and to. So we can say starting index colon, okay, and stop index -1. So always keep in mind, always stop index, always we will -1. Okay, so this is, we can say, from and to, where to start, where to stop. We must use colon because here I want to access multiple values, not a single value. So here I am giving one simple example, forward index slicing. Okay, so always left to right direction, or always backward indexing slicing. When you use backward index, okay, so always left to right. When you use forward index, the same thing, always use left to right. In forward index we use left to right for slice operation. In backward index we always use left to right. So this is the same thing, left to right direction, left to right direction. Okay, so here I am using x in square bracket 0 colon 0. Okay, so start from 0 and again stop to 0. 0 means 0 minus 1. So here it will give -1. So 0 to -1. So there is no index. There is no index. So it will give nothing value. It will give nothing value. Okay. The next example, suppose 0 start index 0 colon 1. Okay. So 1 minus 1 it will give 0. So 0 index again stop to 0 index. So 0 to 0 it will give only 0 position data 11. Suppose I want to access 11, 12. So here I am using 0 colon 2. So 2 means here 2 minus 1. So it will give 1. So 0 to 1. So 0 position 11 and 1 position you can see 12. Okay. 0 colon 3. So 3 minus 1. So it will give 2. So 0, 1 and 2. So it will give 11, 12 and 13. Okay. Now next example 0 colon 4. So 4 means 4 minus 1 3. So we can say 0 to 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So it will give 11, 12, 13 and 14. You can see in this example. Now last example 0 colon 5. So 5 means 5 minus 1 4. So 0 to 4. So 0 to 4 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15 you can see. Okay. Now in last I want to access all the values. So here I am using 0 colon 6. 6 means 6 minus 1 5. So 0 to 5. So 0 to 5 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the value? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you can see in last example we access all the values from start index 0 to 6. 6 means stop index -1. So here I am using forward index concept. Okay, so same data we can access with the help of backward index slicing, because Python provide backward index facility also. So backward index always we can use left to right, okay, and forward always use left to right. So here is a common thing. Okay, so here you can see -6 again -6. So in starting index -6, okay, but in stop index -6 -1. So here it will give -7. So nothing index will create. So it will give nothing. It will give empty set. Okay. Now here I am using start index -6 and stop index -5. So -5 -1. So it will give -6. So start from -6 and again stop to -6 inside. Okay, so it will give only 11. Okay, so in this style we can access with the help of backward indexing. So you can use -6 colon -4. Okay, so -4 -1, it will give -5. So we can use -6 to -5, 11 and 12 you can see. Here I am using -6 colon -3. So -3 here because -1 also includes, so -3 -1, so it will give -4. So you can see -6 -4 -5 -4, so it will give 11 12 and 13. You can see 11 12 and 13 you can see. Here I am using -6 colon -2. So -2 -1, it will give -3. So means -6 -5 -4 -3, it will give 11 12 13 and 14. So you can understand in this style with the help of backward indexing we can access this data. But you keep in mind stop index -1, then we can access this data. Okay, here this thing is important. When you use directly -6 colon after there is nothing, so we can access all the values start from -6. Okay, because here I'm not mentioning stop index, so it will include all the values directly we can use. Okay, so with the help of backward index, forward index we can use 0 colon 6, backward index we can use -6 to access all the values. Okay, you can see this is a, I think, very simple process. Now I want to access this value in middle position. Okay, here you can see starting, always starting in forward and backward, but I want to access data in middle position. Okay, so you can see here I am giving some example. Okay, so you can see. Okay, so you can see in this example, from beginning index always by default we know 0, beginning index always 0. So here you can see x, here I am not mentioning starting index. So in Python by default start always 0. So you can see 0 1 because 2 means stop index -1. So here 0 to 1, so it will give 11 and 12. Here I am using x. Here no starting index colon 3, stop index is 3 means 3 -1 2, so 0 to 2, so you can see 0 1 2, so it will give 11 12 and 13. Now x, here starting index here I am not mentioning, so we can understand 0 colon 4 minus, so 4 means 4 -1 3, so 0 to 3, so 0 1 2 3, it will give 11 12 13 and 14. Okay, so you can see. Now beginning, when you not mentioning starting index, so it will by default use 0. Okay, so you keep in mind. Okay, now in middle slicing we can access middle values. So here starting 1 colon 3, so 1 means 12 13, 3 means 3 -1 2, so it will start 1 and 2, so it will give 12 and 13. 2 colon 4, so 4 means 4 -1 3, so 2 and 3, so it will give 13 and 14. 2 colon, but here I am not mentioning is stopping index, so start from 2 and remaining all values. Here 2 colon, there is no stopping index, so start from 2 and remaining all the values. So you can see 13 14 15 and 16. Okay, so here I am using forward index. Same thing we can access data with the help of backward indexing, but left to right direction always. So you can see -3 -5, you can see -5, then -3, so you can see -3, but here stop index -1, so it will give -3 -1, it will give -4, so -5 and -4, so it will give 12 and 13. Okay, the next example, -4 colon -2. Okay, -2 because stop index -1, so -2 -1, so it will give -3, so -4 -3, so it will give 13 and 14. Here I am using starting index -4, but colon there is no stopping index, so start from -4 and remaining all the values. Start from -4 and remaining all the values, so you can see 13 14 15 and 16. So we can skip stop and start and stop index. So according to this we can get the result. Now we can also mention gap, jump our values, skip our values. So here I am using start index, we know very well. Stop index -1 we will know very well. But here new parameter is we can also use step value, means we can skip one by one. 11, 13, 15. So in this style we can access this. So we can also use step gap. So here I am using 0:6. Okay, here I am using colon step value. So step value is :1. So by default always 1. So 11, 12, 13, 14. So there is nothing change. So you can see. So start from 0. Okay. Stop to 6. 6 means 6 minus 1, 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step is gapping is 1. So we know very well. So there is exactly we will get 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. But here last time I am using step value 1. But here I am using step value 2. Okay. So you can say start from 0, 11. But 11, then we will access 13, then we will access 15. Okay, 11, 13 and 15, because here I am giving the step 2. So 2 step gap. So you can see this is our result, 11, 13 and 15. Here I am using 3 step gap. So the start from 0. So 11, then you can see 14, because 3 step gap. Then because in last index is 5, so there is no value we will get. So 11 and 14 we will get. So we can use one step, so it will give all the values. We can use 2 step gap, so it will skip one value. We can use 3 steps, so it will skip 2 value gap. So you can see, so we can also use using step value. So this is our advanced slice operation. So Python provide a great facility. We can use step value also. Now I want to reverse all the values. So simple, you can remember these colon. Here start index nothing we can mention. Stop index we can not mentioning here. Here direct I am using -1 step. So here this -1 will reverse all the values. So you can see 16, 15, 14, 13, 12 and 11. So you keep these, remember this reverse this formula. We can say this is a formula to reverse all the values of our list. So you can remember colon, colon and -1. So with the help of this slice coding, we can reverse our all the list, you can see. So you always remember this style. Okay students, thank you so much.